On November 22nd, the air was so cold that every breath turned into a misty cloud. Snow covered the ground, and the trees in the forest near Oldham Edge stood still, lifeless under the freezing sky. Natalia Matyska walked slowly along the deserted path, her boots crunching on the frost-covered leaves. She never expected that today she would come across something that would haunt her forever. Somewhere in the distance, a faint sound broke the silence. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't the rustling of birds. It was something weaker, a soft whimper of an animal in distress. Natalia quickened her pace, her heart pounding as she followed the sound. And then she saw it, a brown pit bull, tightly tied to a tree, abandoned in the freezing cold. Pit bulls, most people associate the name with power, strength, and aggressive tendencies. But the pit bull before her was nothing more than a helpless soul, trembling from fear and exhaustion. Its eyes, wide with fear and desperation, met Natalia's. Snow clung to its short fur, its frail legs barely able to stand. The footprints around it had already disappeared under the fresh snow, meaning it had been left there for a long time. Anger and heartbreak surged through Natalia. Who could be so cruel as to abandon a living being like this, leaving it to freeze to death alone? Without hesitation, she knelt down and gently untied the leash wrapped around the tree. The pit bull flinched at first, but then, sensing warmth from Natalia's touch, leaned into her, pressing its cold, wet nose against her chest. She scooped the dog into her arms and rushed it to the nearest veterinary clinic to check for a microchip. But there was no owner. No one was looking for it. It was completely abandoned. Not wanting to leave the dog at the shelter, Natalia decided to take it home and named her Nala. At home, Nala quickly grew attached to Natalia, following her everywhere. The dog, despite everything it had been through, was affectionate and seemed grateful to have been saved. But Natalia knew pit bulls were a powerful breed. They were known for their loyalty and protective instincts, but their heightened sensitivity to loud noises and sudden movements could make them unpredictable. She wasn't worried. She believed that with enough love and care, Nala could overcome her fears. Then tragedy struck. Natalia had a Persian cat named Coco, a pampered indoor cat who had never set foot outside. The moment Coco saw Nala, she panicked. Her white fur bristled, and she bolted from her spot, darting wildly around the house. Nala, though not intending to harm her, immediately chased after Coco. It wasn't aggression, just her natural prey drive kicking in. But to Coco, it was pure terror. She dashed straight through the open door, disappearing into the darkness. That night, Natalia couldn't sleep. Her mind was consumed with worry, imagining Coco shivering in the cold, lost in an unfamiliar world. For 2 days, she searched tirelessly, putting up flyers, asking neighbors, calling out Coco's name over and over. But on November 24th, her worst nightmare became reality. They found Coco, but she was gone. Her small, fragile body, once curled up safely in a warm bed, now lay frozen in the snow. Natalia stood in silence, feeling her heart shatter into pieces. She had done something good. She had saved Nala's life. But in doing so, she had lost Coco, the little soul who had been by her side for years. She posted on social media, "I am completely devastated. On one hand, I saved a life, but on the other, I lost a part of my heart." She dreaded telling her daughter, who had loved Coco since she was little. Then things got even worse. One afternoon, as Natalia opened the door to welcome her children home from school, they rushed inside, laughing and playing loudly. The noise startled Nala. In a split second, her protective instincts kicked in. She lunged forward, placing herself between Natalia and the commotion, teeth bared, body tense. And then she bit Natalia's daughter. It was a small bite, nothing serious. But in that moment, Natalia realized the heartbreaking truth. Nala wasn't a bad dog, but she was a strong, powerful breed that needed an experienced owner. And Natalia wasn't that person. With a heavy heart, she made the difficult decision to send Nala to a specialized Pitbull rescue center in Ireland, where she would receive the training and care she needed. The day Nala left, Natalia held her tight for the last time. She knew there was no other way. "You are a good girl, but I can't keep you." Natalia's story touched the hearts of many. While some mourned for Coco, others praised her bravery and kindness for saving Nala, despite the painful loss she had endured.